Hey, it's John, Close Enough Garage. Welcome back. First time here, welcome to the channel. So, Black Betty didn't have any lights when I got her, and I rebuilt the, I didn't rebuild it. I cleaned it up. The light switch was not light switching. So I reached out and I got one off the interweb. And they sent me this one. There's a fuse. And one click is your running lights. Next click is your headlights and all your. And this is how they attach. There's pins on the end of the wires. Go in here. And if you take this off right here, bend these little prongs out. And got some wires to hook here too, but I digress. Bend these prongs out. What happens in there, there's a slide. It's a little square brass cube, real thin, and it slides and makes connections. Well, I took the old one out of Black Betty, put this one in, but this is too large. See that running in right there? It's like 7/16. So come through the hole in the dash, and then you put your bezel on there, and which holds it, and then your knob would go on there. Well, this was too big to go through the hole. So that one's like 3/8. It's in Black Betty. I thought, well, I can drill a hole a little bigger. That's no big deal. And then I'll have Uncle Mike take the little bezel that holds that on there and machine it a little bit larger to accept this. 7/16, 3/8. So, you know, 86 years old, I really hate to start like drilling on it and blah, blah, blah. So, I'm like, no. So with the switch out of the car and on the bench, testing it with an ohms meter, it just wasn't working. So my neighbor Len, who's a retired electrical engineer from GM, was over. He's like, yeah, I think we can clean these contacts up. So we tried. It didn't work. Put it back in the car. It didn't work. Okay. So then I started looking for a light switch with the right size threads. Or a larger bezel. Either one would help me out, right? Because the knob will go on here. Len went home. No luck online. Except this one seems to be the only one in the country right now on the interweb. And it won't work. So I said to myself, it's too simple not to be able to fix it. So took it back out of the car, put it back on the bench. It didn't work anyways, right? So I washed it down with brake cleaner, not fluid, brake cleaner. And then I got aggressive with like some 400 grit sandpaper and cleaned up the contacts on the inside. Then put it back on the ohms meter, and I said to myself, I think this is working. Okay, it did. Now we got lights. That brings us to where we are today. That was a long way around to a short story. But anyways, this is for sale, or I'm gonna send it back to the people who sent it to me. So once we got the lights working, tail lights work, headlights work, running lights work. No turn signals because it wasn't an option in 39. We only had one brake light. So, ordered some from Andy Birnbaum's. I know I say that a lot. And they sent me some. wrong ones. Imagine that. Yeah, so, all right, that's not gonna work. So what do I do? So I started looking online, and basically what they are is 1158. 2 filament 1158 bulb. Not a big deal, right? Well, obviously it is. The difference between 1158 and 1157 is those little pins that go into the socket and you push down and twist are offset, right? 1157s. On 1158s, they're the same. They're at the same level on the bottom of the bulb. So I found them online, and some guys wanted $10 a piece for the light bulbs, and they were in a pack of 10 plus shipping. How long would you have to have this car to go through 10 tail lights and brake lights for $100 to keep it? No. And it's 6 volt anyways, right? So they're not the brightest thing. So I continued to Google and look. What I did come across was these, right? L.E.D. This is where modern's going to help vintage. Vintage is going to be better with modern. This is basically a 1158 bulb L.E.D. So 2 filaments, supposed to be running light and brake light. They were like $6 for a set of 2 plus shipping. But here's the kicker. See that right there? See how that little nib right there and that little nib right there and those 2 connections right there? That's what you need, 1158 L.E.D. So you can see why the one that I was sent, it would go in there. The prongs are right. Right, see how that is? See that little nib right there? Can't hardly see it. See it right there? And see it right there? That's right. This is wrong. So the lights on Black Betty, running lights do work, but I only have 1 brake light. So these are going back. They're not even worth I don't know how many I paid for them. Probably way more than I should have. But they kind of got you by the short hair on some of these old car stuff. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take the lenses off, put these in, see how things work. I'm not sure yet how we're going to push the brake and see if we have brake light when there's just me here. I don't think I'm as fast as the light, but maybe. So let's get set up and we're going to take that lens out and have a look down inside there and swap these light bulbs. So hang on a minute. We're back. So this is actually a glass lens. You see it has a ship in it for Plymouth. And he's got to hit a couple other things, but this is a real glass. It's just a straight screwdriver right here. And so I'm going to be careful. Is that stripped? Is that not coming up? I'll put that right there. We'll change the side and then We'll leave one new and one old if it works, and we'll see how that does. We'll compare them. We'll compare them. It's only glass. I'm sure they're really easy to come by. Gently. Gently. So there it is. Now this one, I think this is the side that works. But not bad, right? And in transparency here, I've already been in here looking to find out what I need, and that's why this is so clean. I actually got new rubbers here, replaced this rubber gasket around it, and this is how I found out what I needed. It also mentions it in the shop manual. That's a GE 1158 21 something 3C 6 or 8 volt. So I don't know. 8 volts kind of funny, right? But here's the new one. I've already sprayed a little WD-40 down there. You know, there's springs in there, right? On the connections. And it says if it don't work, then you've got the polarity wrong, to take it out and turn it and put it back in. So the battery is disconnected. Let me hook that up and see what we got. All right, looks like the polarity is right. Listen, I'm gonna step on the brake. You let me know if the brake light comes on, okay? Well, couldn't hear you. Yeah, oh, it's off already? All right, maybe I'll have to rewind the tape. But let's put that back together, and then we'll do a comparison on the old bulb and the new bulb. So not to torture you, you don't need to see that. Well, there it is, back together. Let's shut the lights off in here. Probably not going to help a lot, being that the lights coming through the garage windows there. Let me see, both of them are in frame. Sorry, it's like you never done this before. Well, pretty much because I haven't. Okay, I think we look pretty even there. You can see the sun coming through there. Now I'm gonna kick them on and let's see which one looks better. I don't like that at all. Yeah, no. I do not like that at all. The LEDs are not. Well, we're going to take that back apart and put the bulb back in there that was the original, and send away for some different bulbs. I thought the modern stuff would be nicer, brighter, safer, more noticeable, you know, because maybe a lot of people may be on their phone nowadays. I'm just saying maybe. And I wanted something to grab their attention, a nice bright bulb, but that's not it. Maybe it gets brighter if I change the polarity. All right, let's look at that. All right, so I had them in backwards, and that's why we didn't have no brake lights at all. I've got both LED lights in now. My lovely assistant came out and said, yeah, they're working. So we're gonna go with that. At least I got 2 working brake lights. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Like, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the light bulbs. If this helps somebody, if you like this better. I do think when you look straight on, if you were behind the vehicle and out further, they do look brighter. So, yeah, do all that good stuff. Tell me everything. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.